Hello, this is Norma and welcome to my channel. Today in my kitchen, I'm making some sesame candy. Where I grew up is called Beniseed candy. So let me show you all the ingredients I'm going to use. Okay, this is the sesame that I used. So what I did, I just washed it 3 times and then I put it in this bowl. And I had it sitting out on my kitchen counter for 8 hours. So I'm going to wash it 2 times before I use it. So this is the brand that I used. But of course they got several kind of brands. I'm going to use my rolling pin right here. I'm going to use some butter. This has a little bit of salt. And I'm going to use it to coat my wax paper when I roll it. I'm going to be using some granulated sugar. When I open my sugar, I just keep it in here. You're going to need a measuring cup. I have a strainer right here. I have a knife. Some wax paper. A brush, and a wooden spoon. So let me wash the sesame and I'll be right back. So I washed it and I'm just going to let it drain out about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to use my paper towel to wipe it and put it in my pot and start to fry it down. So when I fry, it will take a lot of the liquid out, but I'm using my paper towel just to help it. Okay, now we're going to go to my stove and I'm going to parch it. I'm going to have my stove on medium because I don't want it to burn. So you can use your oven also. Put it on 350 degrees and watch it after 10 minutes. But I just feel like when I do it on the stove, I have more control to check how brown it gets. So that's why I prefer to use my stove to roast my sesame. So we're just gonna let the water get out and let it parch the way I want it, and then we'll move on to the next process. So it's starting to dry down and get a little bit darker, but I'm still gonna let the color change a little bit more. It's been cooking about 5 minutes. Like I say, I'm going to do about 10 minutes and just keep stirring after a few minutes because you don't want any part to burn. So I'm going to be using 1.5 cups of sugar, and the Beniseed was 2 cups, or the sesame seed was 2 cups. So let's go on to the next process. I'm going to take the wax paper, cut some. And I'm going to put some butter on it. Now you don't have to use the salty butter, but when I make sweet stuff, I just like a little bit of salt. And I'm just going to spread it on there. So I'm going to do 2 of them. Put this aside. Get another one. And repeat the process. So you know the wax paper is also called parchment paper. Because you're going to be rolling it when it's hot, you don't want your rolling pin to keep sticking on the candy. So this acts like a barrier. Okay, let's go to my stove. Okay, I put my frying pan and I'm going to put my sugar. I'm going to mix it until it's caramel color. And I'm also going to be using a wooden spoon. The sugar has started to melt. You don't want it to burn now. So when you're making it, keep an eye on it. I have my stove on medium high. Now it's time for me to put my sesame in there. And mix it up well. Smells so good. Let me get all of it. And well. I'm going to cut it off and take it from my stove, and in about 4 minutes I'm going to pour it on the first wax paper that I showed you. Okay, it's been 4 minutes and I'm just going to drop it on it. I just like for it to set a little bit, but you know it's sugar, so don't wait more than 4 minutes because then sometimes it starts to get hard. You don't want that. Get all my candy off. I'm going to put the other foil paper on top of the candy before I roll it. By doing that, you're going to make sure it's not going to stick on your rolling pin or stick on your board. Okay, now let's cut it. You don't want to wait too long to cut it because it will get hard. So I'm just taking the little rough edges off. So I thought I was recording. I cut it with my knife, and I'm just going to wait for it to cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it apart. So it's almost dry. I flipped it around to take all the wax paper that's on it. Just peel it off. See, the butter helps to get it off. See that? Just take your time and peel it off. So after I take it all off, I'll flip it back on the other side for it to dry completely. To eat some of my candy. It is crunchy. It's always best to do it at home. The store-bought one, you don't know how long it's been on the shelf. And everything they've added to make it stay on the shelf. So make your own Beniseed candy. So my sesame seed or Beniseed candy is all ready for me to eat. So if you don't have parchment paper, you can also use foil paper, or you can just put it on your board and do it. But just make sure you put some oil because it helps with all the sticking. And when you flip it around, take your time if you use parchment paper to get it off your candy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button so each time I upload you will be notified. Bye-bye.